Hello and welcome to this new vlog music by Pasca about Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is a band well known around the world and everybody knows what Pink Floyd is. It's a band formed in the 70s or 60s, I don't know well, but I won't make the history of the band in this vlog. I will talk about what I think about the albums I have of Pink Floyd. So I have 4 albums of Pink Floyd. I've got Umaguma, the double album with the first CD and the second CD. And the first CD is a live one, and the second CD is the Umaguma album. And after I've got the album very well known Dark Side of the Moon, and I've got Wish You Were Here. And the last album I've got of Pink Floyd is The Division Bell. I do not know very well Pink Floyd because Pink Floyd is a band who made a lot of albums. There is a lot of albums in their discography, and I won't talk about each album because these albums are numbered as I think 20 or 30, something like this, and I cannot talk about every album of Pink Floyd. So I will just talk about the 4 albums I know. And I have, and I know other albums like A Saucer Full of Secrets, like the albums like The Best Of, and some other albums like the first album, which is The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I guess it's the only album where Syd Barrett was. And the other albums of Pink Floyd are the albums that I have. These albums are Umaguma. I think it's one good album because we hear in this album how experimental can be the band, can do the band their music. And there are a lot of sounds from the nature and something like, the sounds are very long. Each piece is long and something is strange in this music. You cannot, you can't describe with precisions how is the music. But the music of Pink Floyd is a music that explores every kind of nature, every kind of weird thing, every kind of feeling. And there is this image where the band are 4 members, and it's like in a mirror. They turn, and they turn in this image too. And this weird album is as weird as the jacket is, because there is this live album with 4 pieces. The 4 pieces are long pieces and they are strange pieces. I guess the pieces are from Saucer Full of Secrets, but I don't know if each piece is in this album Saucer Full of Secrets. But there is the piece A Saucer Full of Secrets in the live. But Pink Floyd is very a weird band, and this album Dark Side of the Moon is a revelation because in it there is this song very well known called Money, and talks about money and talks about the business and some things like that. And you know, the sound progresses into a sound more approaching rock music, but it's approaching rock and it's experimental too. And the band tries to do a more classical way of composing their songs. It makes me think about Alan Parsons' project. This music, this progressive sound makes me think about some bands like Genesis or Alan Parsons' project, because they are trying to find a sound in their pieces, in their how they compose. They try to find some sound, and something is weird, is strange in this music. Is really, and something is like you are in a world, you are in another world than in our world here. But this world, which is a world which is not in our world, talks about our world. So that's what is interesting in this music of Pink Floyd, is particularly that the way the music is composed talks about our world, where we are, what we think, what we do. But this music is so strange, so there are a lot of instruments and a lot of compositions, and it's like something is lost and they are trying to find it in their songs. Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here is another album which contains 5 pieces, and there are the 5 pieces are huge songs, from the best songs of Pink Floyd that they ever made in their discography, like Shine On You, Crazy Diamond, Welcome to the Machine. And there is one dimension that appears in this album. This dimension is the man and the machine, and something like the jacket is an impression I've made, and this photography is a photography I found on the web, and I printed it, and this is a reproduction of a photography of Pink Floyd. This album is a huge one. It talks about the man and how the man is in this society, is compressed, and with a way of being, a way of thinking, a way of living. And it's a very great album in its composition, because how it is composed. There are long, very long, long music, long pieces, and they are talking about the craziness of humanity, and it's something very, very, it's interesting. It's really interesting, because the music is like the rock music and so experimental too, and it's like they found perhaps something, they found an identity. Pink Floyd has found an identity in those 2 albums, Wish You Were Here and The Dark Side of the Moon. They found an identity of a band, because after Syd Barrett has gone, they were trying to find a sound like in The Pipe at the Gates of Dawn with Syd Barrett. There was a sound very particular in this album, in the first album of Pink Floyd, and they are trying to find and to return to this sound, but they never could return to this sound because Syd Barrett is gone. Syd Barrett is making a lonely career and is disappeared and is in drugs, and Syd Barrett isn't anymore in the band, and they miss him, and something like they miss really Syd Barrett. And in this album, one of the last albums of the band, when they were complete, when the band was complete, talks about the absence of Syd Barrett. And the album is about nostalgia, about the absence of Syd Barrett. And each song of the album talks about the sadness, because Syd Barrett, they always missed him in every album of the band, but they made a huge discography, but Syd Barrett wasn't here anymore, and they were talking about him in each album. But this album is really the album where they talk about the absence of their friend Syd Barrett, and they are missing him so much. And this album is something like you can listen to the sound and think there is melancholy and there is nostalgia and there is something like, this is a pop rock album because the band has made their career, and this is the album of the end of the band, the end of Pink Floyd, just before they separate and David Gilmour made a career in solo. And this album has some very great songs. Like, you know, there is a song very well known, it's High Hopes. It's a song about, I believe, about believing that there will be better days, and something like they miss Syd Barrett, but well, they talk about the past of the band, and they talk about what the band has become. They talk about something like Syd Barrett isn't there anymore, and they are trying to find their way without Syd Barrett, without him. Let me show you the jacket with great photographies. There is a research in these photographies and the atmosphere in it. The atmosphere, you know, like there is a sad atmosphere, something, you know, this one is really beautiful. I think it's a very great photography. I don't know if there are a lot of photographies in Dark Side of the Moon. There is a band, Pink Floyd, here. And you know, there are colors in each page. The spectral of colors in each page. Here is the band, Pink Floyd, Pyramids. It makes me think about the album Pyramid of Alan Parsons' project. I don't know, but well, The music of Pink Floyd makes me think so much about Alan Parsons' project, this band, where there is a singer, but there is two singers, there are three singers, everyone sings, and everyone plays some instrument, and they change instruments. This isn't the same person who plays different instruments, and this is very interesting. Those bands, they are searching something. They are trying to search something and trying to pass in each side, in each way, in each. This illustration is very well because it illustrates well how they compose, how they think their music, how they think they can be talkative in their music, but they can be silent too. And there are a lot of atmospheres, and it's huge. And Pink Floyd has influenced a lot of bands after their career. They've influenced a lot of bands, beginning with The Cure and some other bands like The Cure, but the new wave bands are very much influenced by Pink Floyd, because Pink Floyd made atmospheres in their sound. A lot of bands took the music and reproduced something of the music, some atmosphere of the music of Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is a huge band, and it's known all around the world. It's like Queen band. It's like David Bowie. It's like those singers and bands who are very well known and had a lot of albums and discography, a huge discography and something. It's huge. I wanted to make this video in English because Pink Floyd is a band. You cannot ignore the band even if you don't like them. You don't like their music, but you know about them. You know they exist, and you know they've made their discography, and they changed how we are hearing music, and they changed how they made atmosphere in their music, and they changed the way you know music with structure of a song. The classic structure of a song isn't anymore in the songs of, for example, the songs of Yuma Guma. They aren't this classical way of composing the every band has, because when you watch the pieces here, Sisyphus part 1, part 2, part 3. It's a way of composing like classical music, but it's far from classical music because it's atmospheric music. Yes, I've reached the end of the video, and I hope you like my video, and I hope if you don't know very well Pink Floyd, you try to just listen to one album. And if I had one album to show you and to advise you to listen to, this is The Division Bell, because it's one of the more classical albums by Pink Floyd, one of the last, and it's the album that talks about every discography of themselves. They talk about themselves in this album, and for me it's the album that resumes the discography of Pink Floyd. See you next time for another vlog, and hope you like this one. Bye.